This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Woof woof, we're ready to rock and roll and preach the good word of the gospel of the three American pillars, God, Constitution, and capitalism. And I just want everybody to know that if you do not know, Christmas is next Tuesday. No kidding, I am not making that up. That is a reality check for you. Oh my God, I just used Ben Swan's phrase. You know what, folks? Last night was my first night in a store Christmas shopping. And I went to Toys R Us with my wife to purchase toys for the kids, the grandkids. And that's the first time I've been in one of those stores forever. And I just want you to know, those of you that have been to Toys R Us in Florence, Kentucky, you know what I'm talking about. I like the way they had it laid out before. You knew exactly what was where. Now it's all mixed up. There might have been some marketing reason to do that, but before you knew where the girl stuff was, you knew where the games were, you knew where the boy stuff was. Now it's all messed up. I got all kinds of Christmas shopping to do still, but I will get it done. And as I put on my promo, we'll start having some fun with the usual Christmas topics like gifts, whether or not you should pay your radio crew a Christmas bonus, whether or not you should make a special donation to charity. What kind of a Christmas present wrapper are you? We're even going to play probably some Christmas music, like rock Christmas music, although my favorite rock Christmas song is Little Saint Nick, and you can't top that. I also have, there's a great Christmas song, and I'm going to dedicate it to my mom, from Bruce Springsteen. It was on a album that he released. Like, these are all the great songs we didn't have room on our album, and it was great. And I got to play that for my dear old mom. I ought to play that even more than once a week. I ought to play that maybe every day. You know, Garrett, I just want to, good morning to you there, buddy. I just want to tell you, you know how distracting it is that I am looking over at you from time to time, and I look up, and right above your head is Cheryl Teagues in her pink bikini swimsuit.
It's quite a distraction. Good morning to you as well.
All right.
Good today?
Crosstown shootout?
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to make all of my Xavier Musketeer friends mad. But I'm rooting for the Bearcats, because let me just tell you something. And I'm a Catholic schoolboy. I grew up, I went through Catholic grade school, high school, and college without leaving Northern Kentucky. And I love Moeller, and I love the GCL, and you know what? I even admire the Jesuits. And I like Xavier. But there's just a big old part of me that roots for the public schools, because they're the public schools and they get the shaft, and my kids went to public schools, and I know what it's like to go play Trinity and St. X, who recruit from down in Louisville. You know, instead of the public schools, that the kids that are around there go there. They don't recruit.
It's the common man.
So UC represents Bulldog Nation, the epitome of the people. Now, I will say this. There's a lot of Bulldog Nation members who are Xavier grads, and I run the risk of alienating myself for at least a brief period. Oh, by the way, we interrupt this regular scheduled program to live on our video simulcast. Does it not drive you nuts? I took a vow. Anybody who does an ad that takes up half the newspaper and you got to rip it off to even read your newspaper, I will not buy a single thing from them. Doesn't that ad make you mad?
Yeah. Covers half the front page.
As I worked late last night and all night, that's why I'm in my pajamas. If you're looking at the simulcast, it's been a long time. I am in a t-shirt, Dallas Cowboys. I'm in a Special Forces hat, thank you, Chuck Holbrook, and my Bulldog pajamas. These pants were given to me by Connie Woodall, a very good employee at Bulldog's Roadhouse, and I love them. But anyway, I'll tell you something. Last night on The Voice, the season finale, one of the finalists did this song. And what was awesome is we were going to do this song yesterday. We planned on doing this song yesterday, and we just ran out of room for it. And this is my second favorite Kiss song. And I tell you right now, he and his gang nailed it last night. You like this song, Garrett?
It's okay, but I think Kiss is overrated. I know.
Well, no.
No.
It's a Kiss. Kiss isn't about the mutiny. Kiss.
It's a show.
It's a show.
Yeah.
But they hit it out of the park on a couple songs. You know, I Was Made for Loving You, and this one, baby. This is a rock song. This is Kiss. Rock and roll all night and party every day on Class X Radio. Go Bearcats! This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. You can listen to us every morning on 88.9 and 89.FM. Tonight, the UC Bearcats play the Xavier Musketeers. It's going to be the 80th meeting of the teams. They play at 7 p.m. It's going to be on ESPN2. And also, the last meeting, Xavier won 76-53. That was the big fight. Cincinnati is a 7-point favorite. Quote of the day. And he is considered, along with Churchill, and Lincoln, and Washington, one of the greatest democratic leaders of all time. Yes, that was Pericles, the mayor of Athens. Choose to die resisting rather than to live submitting. They fled only from dishonor, but met danger face to face. Sounds like Shakespeare, doesn't it? Don't you think our congressmen, don't you wish our congressmen could hang that on themselves? Yeah, ain't gonna happen. Today in history, we got a clip on this. I saw that we had a clip on this. The very last one there, Garrett. In 1998, the House forwarded Articles 1 and 3 of impeachment versus President Clinton to the Senate. I believed you, Bill. I believed you. You know, Garrett, what does it say about somebody that could look the whole country in the eye and with a straight face lie like that? I say he's one hell of a politician, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. They all do. They're all good at it.
Thank you, Bulldog. I really appreciate that. Also, Benjamin Franklin begins his publication of the Four Richards Almanac. And in 1776, Thomas Paine published his first American Crisis, in which he wrote, "These are the times that try men's souls." 1843, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens was published. By the way, you know who the first novelist was? Charles Dickens. 1941, the U.S. Office of Censorship created to control info pertaining to World War II. I just want to let you know the Bulldog Nation is implementing the Bulldog censorship. Anything too liberal or jack-wagon, we censor it. 1950, Eisenhower was named NATO commander. You're going to love that. 1971, CBS aired Homecoming: A Christmas Story, introducing the Waltons, and I remember seeing that. 74, Nelson Rockefeller was sworn in as the 41st VP, and just to let you know, now remember, he became VP when Ford became president. Nelson Rockefeller died with his pants to his ankles with a prostitute in a penthouse apartment in New York City. That's a fact, Jack.
Really?
Yep. Famous birthdays today. We got Jake Gyllenhaal, 32, Mr. Brokeback Mountain. He was on the receiving end. That was bad. I couldn't. Warren Sapp is 40. Here's somebody I had a crush on ever since she was a little girl on the TV. Alyssa Milano. That's Tony Danza. Isn't her voice cute? And of course she went nuts, did the tattoo crazy sex scenes, and now she's back to making the NFL apparel. True story. She's got that.
Who's she married to?
I don't know. Who cares? Christy Swanson is 43. She was a hot petunia in her day. Jennifer Beals, 49. You remember? Jessica. Chris Angles, 45. I can't stand that cat. No, baby. Tim Reed, Venus Flytrap, 68. Cicely Tyson, 79. I loved that whole Roots thing. Good stuff. And today's also known as Oatmeal Muffin Day. And I just want everybody to know out there that I am not going to run with the innuendo of Oatmeal Muffin Day. I will not do it. It's also called National Regifting Day, which makes no freaking sense to me, I think, because it's before Christmas. Very sad to report we lost 2 men. Army Sergeant First Class Kevin E. Lapari, 39, of Baldwin, New York. He died December 14th in Logar Province, Afghanistan. He was assigned to HHC 173rd Airborne Brigade Combat Team, Hamburg, Germany. It's got to be Hamburg. It cannot be Bamberg. This incident's under investigation. Navy Lieutenant Leonard Robinson, 29, of Spring Lake, North Carolina, died December 15th of non-combat related injuries while home on leave in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, let us never, ever, ever fail to remember, honor, and bestow our prayers upon our soldiers, our sailors, our airmen, and our Marines. Because we will never, ever forget them on Class X Radio. Forecast today, mostly cloudy, high 51. Thursday, rain, thunder, and wind. You know, apparently tomorrow is supposed to be like a miserable jack-wagony of a day. Friday, morning clouds, and it's going to get cold, down to 34. And there's possible snow on Thursday. 25-mile-per-hour winds, gusts up to 50. Uh-oh. Facebook feel-good song is Little Willie of Sweet Faith. Little Willie. What do we have in jackwagon category? Yeah, Roxanne Qualls calling on Obama and the feds create tougher gun laws, jackwagging her up. Let me see, what else do we have here? We got some oracles. Stevie Wonder bought 10-year-old Jasmine Falk, the cancer patient Charlie Sheen donated $75,000, serenaded her with Isn't She Lovely, and gave her $100,000. It's pretty cool. And Joe Dieters, the Hamilton County prosecutor, we might have a clip from this, I'm not sure, he said he would support armed teachers in local schools.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Good old Joe Dieters. You know, that's what you gotta love right there, baby. You know, it was funny. Connecticut has these tough gun laws, and Connecticut, you know, the teacher that we're not gonna never let guns in the schools. And Joe Dieters yesterday said, Willie teases him, calls him my dad. It's me, Willie. Anyway, he says, heck, Joe's not too much older than me. He goes, yeah, there were 3 guns in the schools last Friday. You know? Not going to let guns in the school. There were 3 of them in there Friday. Thomas Sowell, baby. I love Thomas Sowell. Must every tragic mass shooting bring out the shrill ignorance of gun control advocates? Unfortunately, Thomas, they do. They simply disarm law-abiding citizens while people bent on violence find firearms readily available. And, of course, the big news, and I guess we're going to get into this some more, that this cat knew that he was going to get institutionalized by his mother, who was seeking guardianship, so he was worried he was going to get sent away, and he was angry about it. Well, he's institutionalized now. And hell, here's some fun facts. Napoleon constructed his battle plans in a sandbox. I do that all the time with trial. I take little, when I prepare for a trial, I take little Barbie furniture and I kind of arrange the courtroom. No, I do not.
Get one of those sandboxes that's shaped like a turtle, you know?
Yeah, Napoleon was so short, he probably got covered up a few times by a large cat.
He had little man syndrome. He had Mark Amazon syndrome, didn't he?
Absolutely. The shortest war on record was fought between Zanzibar and England in 1896. Zanzibar surrendered after 38 minutes.
Good effort, Zanzibar. That's what I'd have done. I'm a quitter. So I'd have gone out there and been like, oh, screw this. This is bull.
In medieval,
myself killed.
In medieval Italy, If a man was caught kissing a woman in public, he had to marry her whether he liked it or not. That seems fair. Yeah, that seems fair.
I would assume he would like it.
Until President Kennedy was killed, it wasn't a federal crime to assassinate the president. Well, wasn't murder enough? Jeez, Ching Shi, once a prostitute, became one of the most powerful pirates to ever sail. She commanded one of them. Who cares? The oldest glowing light bulb was first switched on in 1901 and lives in fire stations in Livermore, California. It's called the Centennial Light. Lasted 100 years. Wow, wow, wow. The first known contraceptive was crocodile dung, used by Egyptians in 2000. Hey, hold on there a minute, honey. I gotta give me some crocodile dung. I got a funny contraceptive witty joke that I'll lay on Garrett when he's least expecting it.
Try me.
In ancient Egypt, some people paid their taxes in honey. In honey. Wow. When the Egyptians destroyed Libya in the 13th century BC, they took 13,230 male appendages, yikes, of conquered enemies as trophies. Oh my God.
It's like that scene in Lincoln where all the arms.
When we come back, by the way, I made William change the quote of the day today because it sucked. But that's why I'm on time of things. We're going to come back to question of the day. We'll see if the joke's improved enough to share with you. And we're going to continue Radio Superbity. I'm going to ask Tommy Boy to even do a rendition of that band Down by the River. It's been a while. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this is the best rock song, Christmas-wise, of all time. This is the Beach Boys, Little Saint Nick, on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Garrett, isn't it funny when a woman has a name? And I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to go ahead and just say some names that I think most guys, and in fact, probably the only funny thing in the movie Ted was when Mark Wahlberg flies through all these names of names that could be a stripper prostitute. It's funny because we're a porn star, because you're hearing these names and like, yeah. But there are certain names I think people automatically think could be hot, and other names that you do not think are hot. I mean, I'm just saying. For example, I think most people would think an Ashley or a Heather, you think hot.
Right.
You know, or Raquel, you know, there's just certain names, you know, just think hot. Right. And there's other names that you don't think that. I mean, I don't care what anybody says.
Helen?
Helen, no way you think of a hot Helen.
Right.
Here's some other ones. Oh, and you also always think somebody's cute. Katie, Molly, cute.
Yeah. Like Girl Next Door.
I tease. It's kind of a famous story in our office that Loretta, my secretary, I mean, she's not no supermodel kind of person, but she's cute. And I just assumed that Loretta, come on, she ain't going to be cute. Right. Like, think about that, Loretta.
Cleveland's wife.
No way, Loretta.
Yeah.
But here's one. There's a nurse, a new nurse that's working in our office. And a buddy of mine recommended her to me. And she's very attractive. And her name is Berta.
No way.
I hope she's listening right now, because if she is, she's laughing.
Reminds me of like Bertha.
I am not kidding you. Berta.
Oh,
now her real name is Alberta, and they short to Berta. Would you not? How would you not?
But she's not.
Now my wife
hates the mold.
Yeah, my wife hates her name because she thinks it's so generic. Well, Mary, but Mary can go either way. I don't think people see a Mary as smooth.
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle.
It's in the middle. I mean, I'm talking about just what people draw the conclusion.
Right. Well, you know what it is.
And then come on. All right, I mean, come on. Candy? Who do you think of?
Stripper. Crystal.
And Crystal. sorry, ladies, if you have these names. Savannah. Tammy's and Tina's. They can be a little kind of wild. I always think.
Yeah, I know it, Tam. But it's who you think of when you think of that name.
Exactly.
Like Raquel. You think of Raquel.
Oh, yes.
That's why you think all Raquels are hot.
Yeah, Raquel.
Sure, there's an uglier Raquel.
Okay, Kathy Ireland. Kathy's like Mary. It goes either way.
Kathy's a Mary, yeah.
Anyway, we just had to get that out of the way.
Teresa. That's kind of that's my mom's name.
All right. I'm sure your mom's smoking. Here is William's question of the day. Is man a creator and mover of his life? Or does he live at the effect of forces over which he has little control? William, everybody knows the answer to that question is both. Oxymoron of the day, getting drunk. I don't think that's a very good oxymoron. I really don't. Oh, that's an oldie and goodie on a joke. It's not worth sharing. Shakespeare for the day. Are ye so hot, sir? Oh my gosh. All right, guys, get your pens out or your notepad on your iPhone ready. I have to share with you the word of the day. Xanthippe. Xanthippe. You know what a xanthippe is? It's a shrewish, nagging wife. So next time your wife's giving you a hard time and complaining, you say, will you stop being a xanthippe? I'm going to write that down myself. Come on, man. Xan? Are you kidding me? That is awesome. It's not spelled the way it sounds, by the way. TX, pronounced like a Z. Let's see if we got any good useless facts of the day today. The phrase rule of thumb is derived from an old English law which stated that you couldn't beat your wife with anything wider than your thumb. These wives in the news, stuff today. I don't know. All right, pop culture. The man who created the former NBC hit Night Court, his name is Reinhold Weege, has passed away at the age of 62. Night Court. That was a classic. But it's no more. Britney Spears' fiance Jason Trawick is reportedly preparing to leave the singer after the X Factor is finished. He has reportedly said he wants to stay on as her manager after they're split. Good luck with that, Jason. Cassidy Pope won The Voice. I watched it last night. She was from Blake Shelton's team. And she was good. They were all three good. I liked all three of the finalists. Carson Daly dogged Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton went to go up and hug her. He said, get out of the way, Blake. I was Blake Shelton went, pow. Blake Shelton's a cool guy. In fact, I want to tell you something. There was a skit. I got to describe this skit. This was so freaking funny. All right, here's the scene. Blake Shelton's in a pickup truck driving. Adam is at the passenger seat. Okay, the Mr. Maroon 5 lead singer.
Adam Levine.
In the back seat. In the truck. This was a dual cab. Behind Blake Shelton is Shakira, who's going to be the new female host. And also, oh my God, the rapper. I cannot believe I can't think of the guy. I'm going to think of his name anyway. Well, the rapper is behind Adam. And they're driving down the truck and they keep...
Oh, Mickey?
No. They keep switching a channel. The guy that was Justin Bieber's mentor.
Usher.
Usher. So they're switching through the channels and they're fighting over the channel. And then all of a sudden they come on a Air Supply song. And Blake Shelton goes, if you want to change it, you can. And Adam goes, well, I don't, you can change it, that's all right. And they all kind of like, the next thing you know, they're driving down, all four of them are singing this song.
So they stole it.
That whole Air Supply song. And it was so funny because they were really getting into, Air Supply is one of those syrupy. My wife kicks me and says, you like that song, don't you? I don't like that song. Yeah, you do. You like all the sappy songs. Okay, I like that song.
See, that's what, you ever seen Tommy Boy with Farley?
Yeah.
They do the same thing.
What song was it?
What song was that, Jake?
Well, they must have duplicated that. Yes. No, that's not it. That's not an Air Supply song. That's an REO song.
Yeah, I don't think they were, well, maybe that's what they started out with. And then the next scene, they're just blaring, like...
Get the Air Supply hit songs, and when we come back, I'll play that for you. But it was funny. They were all singing it together. Dave Letterman responds to a Connecticut shooting. He questioned the events with his own son in mind. You drop your kid off, you don't see him again. I've never seen a deer worth 30 rounds of ammo and automatic rifle. Shut up, Letterman. When I become famous, I'm not going to appear on the Letterman show if he asks. Say, sorry, I ain't interested in that. Uh-oh, folks. We're talking about getting Kate Upton in here as a current posed in a swimsuit in 35-degree below zero weather and Antarctica for a top secret Sports Illustrated photo shoot. Wow. Nick Cannon, he said he left Kim Kardashian after their 2006 romance because she lied to him about her sex tape, saying it didn't exist. You know what? How do you marry somebody if you didn't know they had a sex tape? I wouldn't want everybody in the frickin' world to see your wife or your girlfriend. That'd be terrible. Unless you're into that kind of thing.
Not one Air Supply song in
You know, I wouldn't expect. I just want to tell everybody, I'm glad you can't smell through the microphone and you cannot smell through the video camera. I did not get a shower last night. I've been up all night and I came in my pajamas and I just smelled myself. It's not good, Garrett. It's not good. It's not good.
I was gonna say, I didn't have the heart to tell you smelled a little ripe.
Oh my God. It's not good. Dr. Conrad Murray, he wants out of jail while he appeals his conviction of Michael Jackson's not going to happen. Anderson Cooper said he has fears about being kidnapped while overseas. Anderson Cooper, you ought to just be happy or have fears of being egged every morning on your way. Instagram has backed off asserting right to sell your photo policy. Oh, isn't that special? Miss Universe, tonight at 8 p.m. on NBC. And get this, that Miss Pennsylvania, Sheena Monin, wow, she was ordered to pay $5 million to Miss USA defamation. I feel badly for Sheena. She did the wrong thing. She was really nasty, and we had no choice. It's an expensive lesson for her. Wow, wow, wow. All she had to do was say, I'm sorry, and she went in to face that. All right, we're doing this for a Bulldog Nation member because I'm telling you, I take care of my nation. And this Bulldog Nation member says that he only listens to the show during 6 to 7:45 and after 8:20. So this is for Bulldog Nation Michael. This is Hey Joe from Hendrix on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. And let's see if there's anything in here worth mentioning on the local news front. Wow! I know this guy. Fort Wright attorney Kevin Mosier won $18,200 on Jeopardy. I use that guy to help out in Indiana. He's got an Indiana law license.
I was going to say,
he's Jim Moore.
To do that.
He's Jim Moore's good buddy.
Did he win or did he just...
Well, he had at least one round, didn't he? $18,200. Cincinnati native Shannon Lewis won $14,600 on the Wheel of Fortune. You know, back in the day, there used to be a lot, I hate to say this, about a lot of money, but when you think about, like, winning some money, that ain't all that much money.
No. When you get game shows like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah, now this is a sad story.
Multiple choice questions.
Police arrested Kevin McKenzie and Kelly Mayer after they were found to be following UPS and FedEx trucks and stealing packages. Police discovered a working meth lab in their home along with a 4- and 8-year-old. You know, it was bad, but I thought their strategy was wise. I mean, come on, man. You know there's going to be something good at the front door. You got to break in to get it. You just take it off the front door. I'm just saying. Maybe you should wait till it's dark. I don't know. Police apprehended 2 boys in the parking lot of Our Lady of Lourdes School yesterday around 3:30. They had BB guns. The school windows had been shot by BB guns last week. Not smart to do.
Where is that church? Westwood.
Good old Westwood. U.S. Airways are adding a nonstop daily flight from CVG to Washington in February. Big news, the Business Courier reports the university is planning, that's UC, to add 28 luxury boxes, 1,400 premium seats. Hey, I want to reserve one of those boxes. Me and Gary are going to hang, all right?
Do it.
I want one of those boxes.
Yeah, all you can eat food up there.
Heck yeah.
Booze.
Well, then college co-eds that you hang out with.
Yeah.
I'll have my family. We're going to have half the box family-oriented, half the box Garrett-oriented.
Strippers.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to do that. I've been thinking about that. I think my buddy is close to pulling the trigger on taking the plunge, if you know what I mean. He's going to get married, possibly. I'm thinking a good bachelor party would go rent out like I'm thinking, depending on the season, and now possibly at Nippert or at a basketball game, rent out one of those things, get food and stuff, and then go out or something.
There are some things, Garrett, that I don't understand why people don't do more of them. Like, why not have a bachelor's party with none of your buddies getting married? Just have a bachelor's party.
We do that every weekend.
That's what I'm saying. Make up somebody. Yeah, but you see, when you're having the bachelor's party, you get special treatment. Like, go out and pick out somebody that wants to be a bachelor. And
just to tell people at the bar.
Absolutely.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I know it is, man. Hey, Bob's getting married, man. Can we have some free drinks? Yeah, sure.
That's a good call.
Now, here's another thing.
I can tell somebody it's their birthday, it's not.
Yeah.
Do that all the time.
Now, here's another idea, which I admit that I stole off a movie, but I'm watching this movie and everybody's laughing. And it's a great movie, but I'm thinking, that's a great idea. Old school. An adult fraternity. Those dudes just went out and started a fraternity. So why in the heck don't more guys do that? Like me and Chuck and you guys, we could just start our own freaking fraternity and be so cool that people are begging to join the fraternity. And you have a pledge initiation. Hey, you want to join our fraternity? You know, you come up with a Greek name and you just have a fraternity.
Yeah. And you buy, like, well, a frat house?
Yes,
there?
yes, you would have a frat house where everybody hung out
every weekend.
I mean, why don't more people do what they did in old school?
That'd be a good idea.
Right.
You know, speaking of that, buying like a house just for partying. When I was just reminding me of this story. When I was up at Lambeau a few months ago for that Packers game, there are literally houses right across, like 100 yards from the stadium, just right across the street there. Little houses. Well, these rich guys would come up from Milwaukee and they'd buy the house and then just use it on home football weekends to party.
See? People copy my idea. I'm going to tell you something, folks. We got some great stuff coming up the rest of the show. Here's a sad story in sports. Frank Pastore, the former Red, was in a coma, sustained a motorcycle accident. He's passed away at the age of 55. The Friday night coach resigned. Odessa Perman high school coach Gary Gaines has resigned for the second time. He leaves behind this is the real life coach. 63-year-old leaves a 69-28-1 record over 8 years. Wow.
Now, is that since he came back?
Yes. New York Jets.
Record, William.
Greg McElroy will start in place of Sanchez Sunday. They say Tim Tebow will ask to be traded or released. You know what? If I'm Tim Tebow, I'd pop the Jets right in the freaking mouth.
Yeah, I don't blame. I mean, what'd you bring him in for?
Yeah, the league has ordered the Bengals to send out order forms for playoff tickets. Dun 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 dun.
God.
They've been ordered. Hey, here's some playoff.
I hope Mike Brown has to spend some sort of a lot of money on that, and then they don't make it.
That would be funny. That would admit. Ohio State beat Winthrop. Wow, good win. 65-55. They damn near lost. That would have been funny. No, it's not. I'm a Buckeye fan. I am a loyal Buckeye fan.
Hate the Buckeyes.
I know you do. You'll get over it. Hey, you go.
Yeah, let them play us this year. Let them play UC again.
When the hell's my UK Wildcats play again? Next freaking month? Okay, tomorrow night, excuse me, is the San Diego County. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not making this up. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m., you can watch Brigham Young versus San Diego State play in the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl. I tell you right now, it will not be long. We are going to have a Bulldog Nation Bowl. It's in the future. It's in the cards. It's meant to be. We're going to roll on with the news when we come back. And every once in a while, I like to pick a spry song that I have no freaking idea what it is because I can just feel that it's going to be good. Do not let me down, Spry. This is Guess Who? Sour Sweet on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. We will continue to give you the news. And we're going to do traffic this hour. We will get traffic. And we're going to find that Air Supply song last night that they sang on The Voice. And maybe Garrett and Garrett and Jake will sing it.
Sing along.
We could sing along. By the way, if we do that, please print me the words, Jake, so I can have the words in front of me. How about this? This is how stupid the Congress is. A conference committee, including John McCain, approved the extension of health insurance coverage for abortions performed on military rape victims. The House will vote on the final version later this week. Now, I gotta tell you this, man. If you're freaking raped, do you know that there's some immunity involved? Can you imagine that you're raped by another soldier and you can't sue their ass? Makes no sense at all. Belgium is considering euthanasia for minors from terminal illnesses and incurable pain. Again, I think that happens every day in America anyway. They just don't call it that way. The Hedo Meadow Elementary School was closed yesterday in Newtown, Connecticut after receiving a threat before students arrived on campus. Can you imagine that community? All the hell they're going through and they got to put up with that crap. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. The NRA said it will offer meaningful contributions to help make sure this never happens again. Arm them. Arm them. It's that simple, folks. You know, Garrett, every time something like this happens, the thing that I worry about, and I'm kind of shocked there's not more. Copycat.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit like this stuff, you know, people bring, but I'm shocked that there's not more.
I mean, yeah, you're right, but they at least stepped up. I know cops even around here and all over the country or schools had cops at them.
Right. The Benghazi, Libya. An independent review found that systematic failures in leadership and management deficiencies at senior levels within 2 bureaus of the State Department resulted in a secretary posture. I'm hearing music. Is that from you or is that from Jake?
No, that's in the other room.
Grossly, and that's the song, Jake, just so you know. Grossly inadequate to deal with the attack that took place. Wow, really? John McCain on Zero Dark 30, the movie's assertion that waterboarding of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed led to information is factually inaccurate. I wish John McCain would retire. I just can't stand the guy. Even when he says something I agree with, I don't like it. Hillary Clinton's agency, the State Department, said Israel is engaging in a pattern of provocative action. Jeez. The potential killers we let loose. The U.S. would have fewer mass killings of individuals with severe mental illnesses receive proper treatment. And ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, if you listen to my entire show, you are going to hear some things about that coming up. What else do we have here? The New York Times says something I generally don't want to mention, and I'm not going to mention it. Why? You know why? 5,000 worth of care packages for troops in Afghanistan were stolen in Sacramento. They're going to burn in hell, don't you think? Hell, no doubt. All right. Now, Major Nadal Malik Hassan, a.k.a. Fort Hood shooter, was told by a new judge after 3 months of back and forth he may keep his Army regulation violating beard even though military jurors may hold it against him. And the Petraeus other woman, Paula Broadwell, who didn't keep discreet secrets well. She will not be charged with cyber stalking for her warning to Jill Kelly. Isn't it nice that we don't have to listen and watch Jill Kelly anymore? The news has gone past her now. A 45-year-old dental assistant, Cheryl Lanning, and a 24-year-old receptionist, Jessica Gullickson, did after-hours dental work. One problem, they weren't licensed. Oh, my God. What do you think of that, Garrett? Do we have the song now, the Air Supply song?
License.
You the Air Supply song yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Jake is cutting as we speak.
He's cutting it? Which president saved 77 lives, Garrett?
That would have been...
this is easy.
Yeah, it is. Ford.
Reagan.
That's good.
From 1927 to 1932, he rescued 77 swimmers from drowning.
Oh, they were faking.
Do you know the highest degree of masonry is 33? There goes those 3s and 7s again. Harry Truman was a 33rd degree Mason. Washington was 32nd degree. You know, if I was a Mason, I couldn't tell you I was or not because it's a secret society. So I'm not going to tell you. Just want to tell you. I'm not going to tell you if I am. Because if I told you, then I'd be violating a secret. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I get you.
Or not. The talks apparently on the Fiscal Cliff have stalled a little bit. You know, Obama and Boehner jockeying for position. You know, I generally hate reporting all this crap. You know why? It doesn't make any difference until the freaking deal's done. So all the the reporting on what's the back and forth is like meaningless. Meaningless. They say the Obama is actively supportive now of an assault weapons ban. He goes with the wind. Well, you know, don't you think he just goes with the wind? By the way, even if the fiscal cliff is averted, Americans will pay higher taxes under the proposed deal between Obama and Boehner. Paychecks will reduce an average of $942 yearly per household as the payroll tax increases from 4.2 to 6.2. Who does that hurt the most? The middle class, which they both said they weren't going to harm. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, they all suck. It's pure and simple. Well, not all of them. Congressman Massey, Ron Paul, and other like-thinking individuals are good, patriotic, conservative, don't want to spend your money. And I'm going to go off. I'm going to go off about our kids and grandkids. The evil of what they're doing. It's bad. Look at this. Pelosi supports Clinton. She could be president of the United States and she would be great. She would go in that White House as well prepared or better prepared than almost anyone who has served in that office for a long time. Really? Eric Cantor says he expects a vote on the GOP offer to avert the cliff on Thursday. They raise taxes on those earning over $1 million while extending tax cuts for those who earn less. I can't stand Eric Cantor. Can't stand him. The two House Democrats from New York and Colorado are planning to push for a vote on banning high-capacity gun magazines. We're not talking about what you read. We're talking about the magazines that you use for the guns. What else? Obama dropped his $250,000 tax target. They call it an unconditional surrender in the Wall Street Journal. You know, the bottom line is, folks, they're going to let us go off a cliff one way or the other. Nancy Pelosi supported John Boehner's Plan B to avert the fiscal cliff. Wow! Pelosi said $1 million above. Who can argue with that? American Express CEO Kenneth Chenault, according to Bloomberg, is being considered to replace Timothy Geithner at Treasury Department. Well, there you go. Bring in an American Express guy. You know, they know you got to pay your bill every month. I wonder if the American... That's funny, isn't it? The irony. American Express, and I got one, man, you got to pay that bill every month. Unlike another credit card, but you can, you know, carry it for a little bit. Debt increases under Boehner's leadership. They have passed legislation that increased the federal debt $18,944 per household. Thank you, John Boehner, you liberal, disguised liberal dude. What else? Obama's approval rating has skyrocketed. Oh, jeez, old Pete, its approval's 57%, disapproves 43%. By the way, I'm going to share with you a text message that I received from a federal official who told me about a conversation he had with somebody on Obamacare that'll scare you. By the way, you got a song lined up and everything else there, Garrett, for me, time and everything?
What do you want? Because Jake is struggling. You want a little Bonnie Tyler?
Bonnie Tyler?
I don't know.
No!
I don't know. Well, how you got it?
How about, let's play a Christmas rock song. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Or, let me see, the themes, the opening song. The opening song in Lethal Weapon 1 is a great song. Is that Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys? It is, and we've already played that. How about Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer?
I got a little Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
Let's play that song. How long is it? Let's see, we're giving you the behind the scenes live on the radio. Okay. We come back after this, folks. We are going to rock it. Let's see if there's anything in the economy worth reporting. It's on the newsletter. Samsung ended its push for a European sales ban on several Apple products. Who cares? Russia sending warships to Syria to prepare for possible evacuation of Russian citizens. Iraqi President Jalal Talabani suffered a stroke and is reportedly in a coma. I don't see anything else in here worth reporting, folks. So I am ready to come back, and I mean freaking rock it. By the way, the recipe of the day, breakfast pork chops. Where the hell are you getting these things, freaking William? By the way, major announcement, we are not going to do our radio show Next week, we'll explain that when we come back. Here's Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. We come back, the radio Superbity's going to get hot. It's going to get hot on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I just want everybody to know.
I didn't give anybody a warning there before we came back.
You know, I don't want to put this up on the video because our show's being simulcast, but somebody in our office pointed out to me that we had a client that posted some photographs of herself on Facebook, and Garrett, I'm just going to let you describe it.
Oh my God, she is smoking hot. They got the whole side boob working. It is awesome.
This is true story.
That chick is hot.
Chuck is supposed to go get her to sign some papers today.
Get her to come in here and sign them.
Is that not hilarious? How do you post that on Facebook for the world to see?
She's got to be a model.
Yeah, she's got to be
some
modeling work.
Well,
you don't post that stuff unless you're selling.
Could you imagine if your girlfriend or your wife did that? It'd be like, holy cow. What are you thinking?
I think if that was your girlfriend or your wife, you wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care?
Yeah, you'd be preoccupied.
You know, I do. You know what? That's a good thing. That's an important thing you pointed out, because I know I'm not stupid. Nobody will ever call me naive in that category. I mean, I know how guys think. I know how men think. And the reality of it is that I actually do enjoy, Jake, when I show up at a shebang and I got the prettiest woman at the party.
Right.
I mean, and it's not, and usually, I'm not kidding you, it's not even close. I mean, it's not even close. Especially in the age category. I mean, I don't know many women the age of my wife that looks as good as she does. But it's kind of cool. But I tell you one thing I don't mess around with and tolerate with is the people that, we were just joking around, just yeah, BS.
Yeah.
Thank God I am not married to a flirt. It's kind of bad because I'm a flirt. And I've worked on it for her because she doesn't like it, and I don't blame her. God, I would hate to be married to a flirt.
It'd be bad.
Men have double standards, don't we?
It's a jealousy thing.
Let's face it, men have double standards. How about NKU? You know what? I root for the Norsemen. They haven't won a game. They're winless in D1. Growing pains.
It happens to the best of them.
And you know what? You just keep trying. You just keep trying. One of you guys mentioned a deer or something, and it made me think of that great analogy about the gazelle and the lion.
Now, you mentioned Grandma getting run over by a reindeer.
Is that what made me think of that? How the hell did I get Grandma ran over by a reindeer?
David Letterman, 30 bullets.
But anyway, you know the story about the gazelle and the lion, the lesson. Every morning, the gazelle has to wake up ready to freaking run faster than the slowest gazelle or get eaten. And on the other end of the spectrum, the lion has to wake up every morning ready to kill the slowest gazelle, or he'll go hungry. So it doesn't matter who the hell you are. When you wake up in the morning, you ought to get going.
How do you sleep in the wild?
And you curl up in a nice hay. Well, now here's what I would do.
I mean, if you're an animal.
I mean, I don't know, but I tell you now. And it's kind of scary because you know that there's like wild beasts that live in the trees. But wouldn't you? I would never, if I was in the woods or if I was in a jungle, I would sleep in a freaking tree.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And you wake up and that freaking python has you wrapped around the freaking tree going, I'm choking you to death. I would not feel good, would it? It would not feel good. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury, major announcement. We will not be doing a radio show. Obviously, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on Monday and Tuesday. And then we're just going to go ahead and take that whole week off. So our next show will be on Wednesday, January 2nd. So Friday will be our last show for a week. And I know a lot of you will miss it. But at the same time, it'll be a nice break for all of us, including Bill Spry, because Bill Spry is with us. And let's give him Oracle status. Not only is he a great owner, people don't realize this, that we do our show from downtown Cincinnati at the Fox 19 Plaza. And we'll go ahead and give him a plug, even though it's a different radio station. WDJO and Roger Kaufman allows us to use their studios. And but Bill Spry has to be back in the main studio to broadcast it. So he gets up every morning with us. And he knows what it's all about. He's not used to days off, so we all get to take a break for a while, which isn't a bad thing.
And by the way, that's how we're telling Bill that we're not working next week. We're just announcing it on the air.
Yeah, we're just telling him right now, hey, we're not going to work.
We'll actually be back the following Wednesday.
Last night, you know, you can watch some neat television late at night, and there's that series, and a lot of you have seen it, The History of Us, Mankind, The History of Us. And a couple of these historical stories that they told last night were incredible. Goodyear. The guy that didn't, Goodyear, yeah, that's right, the guy that invented rubber. He survived on handouts. Dirt freaking poor. And he started messing around with rubber, and then he added sulfur, and that was when he discovered vulcanization, which he named after the Roman god of fire. But this guy had been bankrupt several times, never gave up, and changed, I mean changed, everything. By the way, at 8:10, the Bulldog song, which I'm going to break down for you and analyze the lyrics, is going to be the song from Bonnie Tyler that was sang last night by Blake Shelton, Usher, Shakira, and Adam Levine on The Voice. We're going to break that song down for you at 8:10. The other one that incredible story was not Ian Fleming, I'm thinking James Bond. Fleming, who discovered penicillin bacteria, and get this, he worked 10 years. He saw people dying from infection and not the wounds. And he decided he's going to fight this. He spent 10 years, and he discovered it by accident. By accident. He left out a petri dish with a mold in it, and it grew for 2 weeks. And he discovered that it was killing the bad stuff. It saved 1 million lives its first year. They make 45,000 tons of antibiotics a year now. 45,000 tons. It's wow.
Jeez.
Isn't that amazing? You gotta love that stuff.
Before that, you die from a paper cut, and then all of a sudden it's like nothing.
Yeah, I thought of something. You know, my mind goes all over the place. And if you're a Bulldog Nation member, you know that. You know this Lincoln movie? That guy, Daniel Day-Lewis, who played Lincoln, I mean, you feel like you're watching Lincoln. In this documentary last night, they had like a Lincoln impersonator. Oh, God, he looked god-awful. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder if like Lincoln impersonators are like quitting, jumping off bridges and everything else, because now they realize how bad they suck after watching Daniel Day-Lewis.
Compared to Daniel Day.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you don't look like Daniel Day-Lewis as a Lincoln impersonator, you're not a Lincoln impersonator. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this song, don't play it yet. This song is a song. I own every Bruce Springsteen album. And I know he's liberal, but I love his music. And this was an album that he released. These were all these great songs that just didn't happen to make. And some of them are great, like Rendezvous. We ought to play Rendezvous sometime. Great song. But this song, Bruce Springsteen, obviously dedicated to his mom for Christmas. And man, it gives me goosebumps. So in the Christmas spirit, I give you a great song you probably have never heard before. Those are the best kind, aren't they? It's like history. I love that history story you never heard before. Well, Bruce Springsteen dedicated this song to his mom, and it's great. Enjoy it and get your goosebumps. This is Bruce Springsteen, The Wish. Listen to this song. It's awesome. Class X Radio. Yeah, as soon as Jake gets me the traffic, I will give you a traffic report.
Well, that's right.
You guys ought to like text Chuck Holbrook a message that goes something like this. Eric wanted us to ask you the importance to him of consistency. Jeez, oh Pete, there's nothing more important than consistency.
Fired Chuck.
No, it's not Chuck's fault.
Chuck? Why are we firing
We're
Chuck?
not firing Chuck, we're firing Jake.
Rehire Chuck.
All right, Hamilton, there's an injury accident on Delhi Avenue at Pedretti Avenue. In Cincinnati, there's an accident on East Fish Street in Maine. Well, that's going to clog things up downtown. There's an accident on Highland Avenue at Martin Luther King Drive East. Hell, there was one yesterday. And there's also an accident on Erie Avenue at Shaw Avenue. And everything's slow where it's normally slow. Let's face it, if you're on 275 in Campbell County, you know there's construction. What do we have here? Shopping. You know, don't you hate lines? My God, I'm too impatient for lines. And guess, let me tell you, if you have not done your Christmas shopping yet, and you're going to go out there and do Christmas shopping, I have a tip for you. Don't buy your loved ones what you think they would like. Buy them what they want if you can afford so. That's the key. It's really that simple. By the way, Jake, I'm getting some inspiration all over the place over here. Are you hooked up to the printer? Can you hook up the printer? Well, you need to do that, by the way.
Yeah.
We need to hook that up to the printer. But I am going to share with you a poem. Yeah, that's right. My favorite poem, the best poem of all time. I like to inspire you here. All right, I got to tell a legal story. You guys are going to love this legal story. Oh, it's so funny.
Where's the poem?
Not yet. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. All right. You know, and I want everybody to know that a lot of it's tongue-in-cheek. I will not deny brashness. I will not deny super confidence. But let me tell you something, folks. The law humbles you. There's so many jackwagon lawyers out there that don't, let me see how they say it, they are phony in the sense that they act like they win every case. Well, let me tell you the reality. I can only promise effort and good thinking and all that good stuff. But you know what? When you represent plaintiffs and you go to trial a lot, you're not going to win every case. I mean, so I want you all to know that, you know, I'm not God. I don't have a God complex. I got a lot of confidence, but trust me, I have been humbled plenty. One of the most humbling experiences I made a mistake. Winning a medical malpractice case at trial is difficult. I made the mistake of winning my first 5. So I'm thinking, this is easy. I can win over. And then I lost the next one. And it was like, man, you can lose. And I made a bad decision. But this is the most flattering thing that's ever happened to me in my law practice. I told a story about the guy that came in here the other day that, you know, I actually had sued. He drove a cab for a living. I actually sued him for a client that he had, you know, it was an accident. He hit somebody on a sidewalk and she had a little girl with her. They both got hurt. True story. And I'm not going to tell you where the jurisdiction is because I want to keep it confidential, even though I'm allowed. I could publicize it. I have been asked to represent someone in an international, federal, colossal, huge criminal case. We are talking a global criminal enterprise. And someone retained me to represent them. They also retained me to represent a relative. Okay? So I would be representing 2 individuals. Okay? The United States Attorney's Office wants me disqualified from representing either, claiming it could be a conflict if they testify against each other, blah, blah, blah. Well, the reality is, they want me, true story, they watched the Lifetime show on Thanksgiving Eve about the Nicole Howe case. They're out of state. They watched that. They called me, fired their lawyers, and said, we need you on this case. So I was in court yesterday, and the judge was very nice and funny. He's got a sense of humor. And, you know, he's expressing some concern, like the U.S. Attorney's Office, about the conflict. And I've got some time to file a brief and argue that why I should be allowed to do it. And this is so funny. Part of the argument was, now get this, the U.S. Attorney's Office said, well, we were in negotiations. We were in negotiations with these people until Mr. Dieters got involved. And I'm sitting, and I said this, I'm thinking, oh, so isn't this interesting? they wanted to divide and conquer. You know, that's how they work, you know, trying to get somebody to testify. So I step in, and it's going to be united front. Let's freaking get it on. Let's go to trial. Let's get it on. And they're saying, what? We're not, no, this mess ups our plan. We want Dieters out of here. I told the U.S. Attorney, I said, I'm very flattered that you're wanting to kick me off both cases. Thank you very much. Is that hilarious?
That's fine.
And I said, what are y'all so scared of?
Are they going to be able to do that?
What are you so scared? I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, the judge expressed some concerns about it, but I think I could cure it all. But how about that? The United States Attorney's Office doesn't want a piece of the dog in the court. Oh, this is so funny. I told this judge, this is hilarious. I said, Your Honor, I just want you to know, I am not Mr. Federal Criminal Defense Procedure law expert. I am a battle-hardened trial attorney. And that's why they want me. Nothing else. In other words, you know, people get caught up in all the technical, and don't get me wrong, you know, you got to make sure you don't make mistakes in the rules. But,
right.
You know, people get caught up on all that stuff instead of the big picture. And I'm always focused on that big picture. And so anyway.
They want you. Where are they from?
I'm not going to tell you that. Oh, where are these people from?
Yeah.
It's right of state. And I could tell that, you know, who it is and everything else, but flattering. The United States government doesn't want the dog defending these people charged with an international crime conspiracy, which of course they're innocent.
I want to come down to that one, and the one where you're representing this girl that puts naked pictures of herself on Facebook.
And I tell you right now, the David Dooley murder trial in Boone County, holy smokes. What we have found, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, as the prosecutor looked at this file, and we're going to be in court tomorrow morning on that, and it's going to be interesting. By the way, I got to leave 15 minutes early tomorrow. Oh, hey, boy. Reverend Dan, we need you in here because Jake's got the board. Reverend Dan will be here. It's Thursday's his day anyway.
Yeah.
So Reverend Dan will be here from 8 to 9, and Jake and Reverend Dan will just take care of business.
When's that trial start?
We'll get a trial date tomorrow. They'll set it for trial. And I'm calling it right now, okay? When? I mean, you're talking, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury, when we come back, more radio, superbity, and more fun. This is Jefferson Starship Jane, which is another name, you know. Usually you don't think of Jane as hot on Class X Radio.
Ugly.
This is the Bulldog on good old Class X Radio. Having a good time with you, right? Aren't we having a good time? Sure we are. And I'm going to have some traffic for you in a second here. By the way, on The Voice last night, Smokey Robinson, I don't know how old he is, but his face looks stretched to the max. Looked kind of weird.
We got a little clip of the winner there. You want to play that?
Yes, let's have a clip from the winner there. If you got it, you said you had it. Here she is. Sing it, baby. Dun, dun, dun. That's enough. You know, my buddy who works for the federal government said he was talking to a major healthcare company and said in light of Obamacare, they're taking half of their jobs overseas. Quote unquote, offshore. Offshore. They like those apples. Hey, and I came up with something else. Haha. You know, remember I got in trouble for calling for an armed revolution? And I stressed I didn't want anybody to be shot. And I even said, let's not bring bullets in our guns, but let's just scare the hell out of those guys that run Washington. And the Bar Association claimed I was advocating the overthrow of the government, which I was not. You know, I know this has been discussed before and never effectively accomplished because too many people are chicken. But I'm thinking about focusing on this peaceful way of bringing the government to its knees. Yes, to its knees. And it's really simple, and it's peaceful, and it's not advocating the overthrow of the government. You know, you got to remember, in the United States of America, The government governs by the consent of the government. Remember Lincoln Gettysburg Address, for the people, by the people? Well, how about this? This would be a riot. Just imagine if come April the 15th, and I'm a series of a heart attack, as we used to say on the farm, I'm a series of heart attack. If everybody, and it could just be a third of the people, probably 25% of the people, but it would be so cool if it was like over half the people, or all of the people. Just think if beginning in 2013, every corporation and every individual just refused to file their tax return. And Barack Obama and all the nitwits in Washington did not have our money to blow. Just bring them to their knees. Because they can't prosecute all of us. Why do you do that for the betterment of your country? I would take the prosecution. And you know what? I think not filing a tax return is, you're not going to go to jail for that. Especially for this short period of time. That'd be awesome. God, it would be awesome. Yeah, but everybody's, you know why? Because we're too good at corporate citizens. We got to pay our taxes. Too good of individual citizens. And you always know that I always stress simplicity. Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. For example, is there anything worse than you go buy a toy and it's in 36 freaking pieces? Last night, I'm not kidding you, we had to buy 2 desks for the Independence office. And my son-in-law says he found this desk, and here's how much it needed, and I gave him the money, he goes and buys it. And I go into the office after shopping last night to grab some stuff before I go home. He and his brother have this desk on the floor, and it's in 9,649 pieces. And I said, good God, I wouldn't have told you to buy that if I knew it comes in those pieces. But, you know, it's always simple, 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 simple. All this $1 trillion debt, and he wants 2 years, so you know we're going to 18 trillion lickety split. Bam, just like this. Barack Obama and the Republicans, excuse me, John Boehner's not doing anything to help us stop it. I want you, especially if you're a younger person, I want you to think about all the people that are 21 years and younger. I mean, I can look at all my kids. Some of my kids are over 24. I think about all my kids. I can look at Jake right here. I can look at Garrett. I can think of my grandchildren. And I can think of my grandchildren we don't know yet. And I'm thinking Barack Obama, the Democrats and the Republicans are spending, spending, spending deeper and deeper and deeper in debt, and laying the responsibility, the future of all those children to deal with it. Mitt Romney called it a moral issue and an ethical issue during the campaign, and he was right. And is the fabric, because the answer is yes. There was an editorial in the Times, the Wall Street Journal the other day. It talks about how America is big government and socialist and liberal to stay because of the gay marriage issue and because of the contraceptive issue. You know, I'm telling you, if Americans today care not about their children, their children's future, and laying it on because they just want to feel good today with taxpayer money, the hell with them. The hell with them. Because I'm not like that. And I always distinguish between private and public debt. I mean, the guy talking to you right now on the microphone is a risk freaking taker. I'm not telling you exactly what I make no secret about this. I am attempting to have a national television, national radio, and national law practice. Unheard of. That's what I'm trying to do. That's my ambition. Now, I might fall on my face, and I take a risk, and you need money, you got to take these risks. I always joke, but I'm really not joking. I'm either going to be bankrupt or rich as hell. I'm either going to be broke or rich as hell, but you know what? Who gives a damn? I tried, I went for it, right? But see, that's me, that's me. If I make a bad bet, hey, that's me. Who cares? It's not your money, it's my money. But these guys are spending hour, screw the song, I'm on the roll. I am appalled. I mean, and I can, when I talked about that armed revolution, I'm serious in a way, and I'm not serious, but I'm like, how can Americans just let this happen? What the hell? And when they talk about, oh, they're angry, the Tea Party people are angry. Yeah, and why shouldn't we be angry? I'm angry. Shouldn't we all be angry? I actually told Chuck the other day, I said, you know my new approach is, instead of shouting in the microphone, I'm going to try the approach of reason and ration with the nitwits. Note, I'm not yelling right now. I am simply trying to talk and hope there's at least a few nitwits out there that are listening to me and say, man, Bulldog makes a good decision. And you know what? I live in a parallel world myself. I have my career over here, and I have my family and friends and everything over here, and I know that if the left side caves, who cares? I got the right side, which is most important. Because you know what? The right side caves, I learned yesterday, for example, a very, high up on the food chain person has got some personal issues, and I'm thinking, God, man, it sucks. I think no matter what the hell you accomplish, if you lose family, you lose friends, and you lose all those things. Because what's the first thing you do when you have something good? You want to share it with somebody. But I digressed. The bottom line is this, folks, and I care enough about that we're not playing a song in this segment. It is immoral, it is unethical, it is criminal, it is wrong on any level. And you know what sucks? Is if you are on the witness stand in a courtroom with a judge, a lawyer can say, answer the question, Mr. President. Answer the question. How can you do this? Guess what? You're not in the courtroom. You just avoid the questions, the answers. They never have to answer the question. They never do. The reporters could ask them a question, they just duck, dodge, skip it over. Anyone who thinks what we're doing with our debt in this country, that it's okay, that it's cool, it's all right, needs to be smacked upside the head. Oh, Bulldog's advocating violence. It's a metaphor. They need to figuratively be smacked upside the head. Garrett, am I right or am I wrong?
Dead right.
All right, when we come back, we're going to cry Radio Superbity, and we are going to have some fun with a Bonnie Tyler song on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I just want to announce that my stepson, Cameron, got a job down in Newport at Strong's Pizza. And he just wanted me to announce that to the world. And I said, well, since Snappy Tomato Pizza hasn't sponsored my show yet, a company which I'm an owner of, how terrible is that, man? You know why? Well, you're in the morning, man. People don't eat pizza in the morning. I'm like, I don't care. In Cincinnati, there's an accident on Erie Avenue at Shaw Avenue. In Cincinnati, accident on Kings Run Drive at Winton Ridge Lane. An accident on the ramp to westbound Ronald Reagan on Colerain Avenue at Ronald Reagan Highway. In Cincinnati, there's an accident on East Fish Street at Main Street. And in Cincinnati, there's an accident on Highland Avenue at Martin Luther King Drive East. Thank you for the computer there, Jake. Had something come up when I was driving to my court appearance while I was at a gas station, and a guy pulls up next to me while I'm pumping up gas, and he says, man, can you lend me some money? Not lend me, he said, can you give me some money? He goes, I am ready to run out of gas. And I said, where are you headed? He goes, Williamstown. And he goes, I don't have any money, and I am on fumes. And I looked at him, and I looked in the car. To be honest with you, it looked like they probably needed the money, and I gave it to him. All right, I gave him some money. I'll go ahead and tell you what the secret amount was. It was $10. $10 give him some, because they told me where it was going to get, 3 gallons of gas. Now, you got to ask Garrett this question. What would you do? Because I always think this. I always think that that's Jesus testing me, and I need to do it anyway. It's a good thing to do, and who cares? And I'm always kind of like, I don't care if he's lying. If he's freaking lying, that's his problem, not mine. I'm doing the right thing here by giving him money. Now, Garrett?
Yes.
You act like a tough guy, but you would have given him the money.
I'm a pansy ass, deep down.
You would have given him money.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting. Now, some people that I have stopped giving money to because I'm downtown enough that I see them. The people that are professional panhandlers. I'm talking about the people that are there every freaking. I'm thinking to myself, man, dude, you are obviously making money. They did a story about that a regular panhandler, the way they calculated what they do, $80,000 a year, cash money.
That's unbelievable.
They get dressed up like a homeless person and go down there.
Yeah, and then hop into a Mercedes and head home.
Funny, isn't it?
No, it's not.
I got an email and a phone call yesterday, Garrett, of a judge's wife. This will make the judicial community nervous because you never know when somebody's got some kind of marital problem. A judge's wife wants me to represent her in a case that against the husband and
against her judge husband?
Yeah.
Are they divorced?
Should I take that case or not?
Are they married still?
I'm not going to say anything more than that. I'm just saying I'm keeping it broad.
Do whatever's best for you. Always keep yourself in mind, in the forefront. Don't worry about other people at all.
Okay, that's fair enough. Think about myself first. It's not kind of my style.
Just do whatever is going to make you money.
You like that idea for a show, don't you? Because we're cool.
We're cool. We could have one.
That we are going to have a show someday, guys and gals, that we're going to have a cool show. We're going to explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the American jury what to do that's cool and what's not the cool. And one of the first things is not care what's cool or not cool.
You have to come off like
for example, okay? I come in here dressed to the nines. I mean, I look like Daniel Craig from James Bond every day when I come in here, okay? Today, I have not slept. I have not showered. I have not shaved. I have not brushed my teeth. I'm in here without socks. I got loafers. I got pajamas on, a t-shirt, my Special Forces hat on. I haven't shaved. Did I say that? I smell. But it's cool because I don't care, right, Garrett?
That's right.
By the way, your Reds hat is cool.
You've never complimented one of my hats before.
I've never
like this one.
I love that hat. It's a good hat.
Thank you.
Like it a lot.
I'm going to wear this to the game tonight.
Go.
Can you believe I have one piece of UC gear?
No, because, well, you love the Bearcats.
That's it, I know. I'm getting some for Christmas.
You do know that in that song that we broke down yesterday from Jimi Hendrix, All on the Watchtower, that he says out there a wildcat did prowl. It wasn't a bearcat. Hendrix chose wildcat instead of a bearcat. And Hendrix never sang about a musketeer either.
It's unfortunate. The bearcat.
You know, let's go ahead and do this song, and we'll come back to it because we don't have to go all the way to the break. You know, after we do the song, I just want to set the pace here now. I'm not going to do this every day. I did it yesterday to All on the Watchtower, and people thought that my poetic analysis was very good to that song. Well, last night on The Voice, which I never watch, I don't want to watch The Voice, but I worked while I watched the season finale. Okay, and there's a great bit in there about where Blake Shelton and Adams are in a truck, and Usher and Shakira in the back, and they're fighting over the song. And then this song comes on the radio, and they all act like they don't really like it, but nobody changes the channel. And the next thing you know, they're all freaking singing this song. So play it there, Gary. We'll come back here to the song, because I know this song doesn't take us all the way to the break. But this is the Bonnie Tyler song. Now, see what they're wanting, is he can't get her attention. See, would you turn around and talk to me, woman? That's what he's trying to get there. Everybody gets nervous. It's nothing to be sad about. Shouldn't have any anxiety over that. Oh, sometimes that look in their eye. You know it's time to move in. Unless you smell. You haven't bathed in 24 hours. This song was actually a hit, Garrett. Do you believe that?
Great song.
You like this song?
Love this song.
Turn around? What the hell? Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I don't know what the hell they mean by turning around. This song is too deep for me. Should have stuck with Hendrix.
Every now and then I fall apart.
I never fall apart.
Wait till
I don't have
really
time
hits
to
it.
fall apart. Now this is where they were singing. Tonight! Now I've said these kind of things before. Please, tonight! Forever! It was so funny they were singing this song together. Hey, by the way, there's an example of some cool dudes. Blake, Shelton, and Adam are cool dudes, and they don't try. Cool dudes. Living in the dark? I love Bonnie Tyler's voice. Isn't a deep woman's voice cool?
This is a great song, yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Total eclipse of the heart. Now, what he's saying is the eclipse of the moon. You know, like the moon goes in front of the sun as an eclipse. What he's saying is her heart is being eclipsed by this love that she has for this guy. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, thanks for helping me with these. You need to help me with these things. Because you might see something or hear something I don't. You know, your youthful insightfulness.
Right.
I can't believe they sang this song. Turn around. What do they mean by turning around? Like, come back? Oh, that's what it is? I figured out. They're leaving. They're leaving, and she's saying, stop, turn around, and come back.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Turn around bright-eyed.
Bright-eyed, yeah, okay. Instead of sad-eyed, bright-eyed?
Bright-eyed, like, wait, I've realized that you were my true love.
I see. I see. How do you know they're your true love? I know. I'm asking you. I'm asking you. It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, don't ask me.
Have you met your true love yet?
No.
You'll know when you do.
And I need you.
I have to admit, this is a pretty song.
It's a
very beautiful song.
Good song.
And I tell you right now, her heartache is the most heart-wrenching breakup song ever. It's a heartache. We played that the other day.
I was gonna say we've got that.
Yeah, we played it the other day.
Love is like a shadow on me all the time.
That is beautiful line. That's poetry.
That's poetry.
That's poetry.
Now she's pissed.
Yeah, I'd admit I liked this song last night. My wife goes, you like that song? It's a sappy song. I said, no, I don't. She goes, yeah, you do. I caved. Okay, yeah, I do. I love sappy songs. I mean, I like Bread. Oh, let's listen. Falling Apart. Nothing. So sad. So sad. But I do like sappy songs. I bet you I'm one of the few people that like, no kidding, the Bee Gees, Air Supply,
I love the Bee Gees.
Bread, Lobo, and Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, and Van Halen.
Yeah, those bands suck, but the Bee Gees are great. Bee Gees are wonderful. After Robin Gibb died, I
tell you right now, the Bee Gees had some freaking music. I don't care. Night Fever, Tragedy,
and what's
the Bee Gees, every song on Saturday Night Fever. Great songs.
I'm trying to think of the one that I'm love.
They're just great.
How deep is your love?
No, that's a good song.
Song.
That's a pretty love song right there. Top 10 right there.
Yeah, that's tremendous. They got awesome voices, the Bee Gees.
How about Jive Talk? Jive Talk. Jive Talk. All right, we broke that song.
There you go. How about that?
Hey, there's the winner. Oh, winner. She's got a different name. What was her name?
Cute.
Cassandra Pope.
Cassandra Pope. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury, when we come back, we're going to...
Cassidy.
Cassidy. That's good.
Pope.
Right. When we come back, we'll have more radio superbity, and we won't analyze any more songs for you today on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Jake, just tell me, is there anything different than last traffic report?
No.
Nah, we're not going to be on it. The gun shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. I want everybody to be aware of something that you have probably forgotten. And you heard me tell the story about the 19th Amendment, which was the national income tax. And it backfired on the conservatives who thought that all the states would shoot down this sucker. But it passed. So the conservatives actually made a strategic mistake and gave us the income tax. Well, a couple things in education by the do-gooders has taken place over the last several decades. One good, one bad. And that is the integration of, the hard word for the Bulldog to say, into the school system and society of disabled, handicapped, and the mentally ill. Now, I'm not going to get into the handicapped and disabled. I actually think that on one hand that's good. You know, it's probably good for society, good for the kids to be exposed to it from both sides, those that have the disability and those that don't. It's very expensive though. But something had happened which was just dumb is this. We took the mentally ill, the seriously mentally ill included, and we shut down all the quote-unquote mental institutions. And we decided we could just medicate. Give them some medicine, that'll be all right. And the reality is there are lots of individuals who just, I'm sorry folks, do not belong in the regular course of society. Just do not. And they do not because they are they just don't get it. They're not connected. They're a danger to themselves and others, so forth and so on. And sorry, medication just isn't going to cut it. And you know, we got to change that. We got to change that. You know the reason why people go to prison? One of the concepts, deterrence, but it's also to protect others. That's why violent offenders, you know, head off to jail, and why it's kind of stupid that we have non-violent offenders going to jail as much as we do, particularly on like the drug possession and everything else. But what went down on last Friday in Connecticut was not a gun issue. It's a freaking mental health issue. Now we now find out from this guy that they think he learned that his mom wanted to get guardianship over him and would commit him. And he was angry about that. I will say this about the mom. You got a mentally ill child and you're taking him to a gun range? Now that's stupid. But the mental health issue is what needs to be looked at, not the gun issue. That is what is important. You know? Now, here's another argument that's made. Oh, these things never happen, you know, da-da-da-da-da. We shouldn't have people armed with guns. I crack up about that because just because something is a rare event doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And if it is a life and death event, you don't take the chance. Let me give you an example. Getting kids in and out of car seats drives me nuts. And every time I get irritated and say, I'm just going to stick her in the back seat and not put her in a car seat, I think, yeah, the one time I don't put little Riley or Reagan in the car seat is when I have a wreck and something happens to them, and I would never forgive myself. When you're dealing with life and death, folks, you don't take any chances. We should not take any chance at all. And come on, Virginia Tech, this, we know there'll be another school shooting. Let's hope the next time it happens, somebody's there to blow them away before they've killed anybody, or not more than one or two. Now, let me tell you a great story about this. My first wife dies of cancer. And that made me like really, really paranoid about cancer. And I was 35 years old. So at 35 years old, I started taking my daily aspirin. I started getting my prostate checked every year. I've already had 35, 45. I've already had 3 colonoscopies. They say, oh, to wait till you're 50. Are you kidding me? But I'll never forget, it was shortly after she died, and I went into the doctor to get a physical because something was bothering me. And I sit down with the doctor, and this young doctor, new family doctor, comes in. Not my buddy Troy, but this new guy. And he comes in and shakes, man, how you doing down there? What brings you in here today? Well, you know, I'm a single dad, and my wife died of cancer, and you know what, I'm just paranoid about my health anyway, always have been, but I'm even more paranoid about my health now because, you know, my kids need me. And by the way, when this happens to you and your kids are 8, 7, and 5, you kind of pray to God. You say, dear God, please, 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 just make sure nothing happens to me until you get out of grade school. Then you got to grade school and say, dear God, please just don't let nothing happen to me. Then get out of high school. Then you get out of high school and say, dear God, just please don't let nothing happen to me till they're on their feet. Da, 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 da. It's like, dear God, my grandchildren need me. We all do that, don't we? The deal you make with God. So this guy says, man, you don't have nothing to worry about. He goes, I swear to goodness, he goes, don't you realize how big the odds are of both a mom and a dad independently getting cancer and dying? And I looked at him and I said, I don't care what the odds are. It can happen. And I don't want to let it happen. It's too big of a risk. It's that risk-reward thing. I mean, how difficult it is to go get a colonoscopy and do this and do this and do this. And you know what? I do know people who've lost both moms and dads. I mean, one to car wreck, one to cancer. I mean, it's not beyond the realm of probability. Isn't that funny character? Like, oh, you don't have to worry about it. The odds are in your favor.
Yeah, well.
BS. Not if you die. You know some other things.
Right, especially with your wife already passed.
Yeah,
I mean,
I go to a dermatologist every 6 months. Stand there naked and let him look at me, so I don't get a melanoma. And he says I'll never die of melanoma because I do that. Here's what every guy should do, and woman should do. First of all, you should get checked out, especially if you have been in the sun a lot or not. You should get checked out at least every year. Your whole body, dermatologist. You should take a daily aspirin. You should, if you're a woman, get a mammogram. My wife got one yesterday. You should, if you're a guy, get the prostate checked every year. Yeah, let them do their freaking test. It doesn't bother me that much. And you should, no doubt, no question whatsoever, along with the prostate exams, get your colonoscopy and start early. Screw this till you're 50. Yeah, you get cancer at 45. I should have had a colonoscopy. Here's another thing that I want to start doing. It's not going to be covered by insurance. I want to get an annual bone scan. Now, I just want to get a whole body bone scan. You know? That's the way I roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen, American Journey, when we come back, we'll have some more Radio Suburban. I got a big announcement to make. This is Led Zeppelin. Over the hills and far away, the Led Zeppelin style on Class X Radio. I don't mind giving it. I give out, advice freely, and I think I give pretty good advice to people that requested and wanted. And somebody just sent me a text about their father had died, and this is going to be the first Christmas without their dear old dad, and how do you deal with that, and how do you get through it, and all of that. And my advice, which is very practical, is that you just don't have any choice. And what you do is you know that they're there in spirit, and in addition to that, you waller in your grief. I mean, just waller away, cry, suffer, just do it all, feel it. See, I'm one of these people that, you got to be careful if you need medication that you're going to hurt yourself or do something bad. But other than that, feel the pain, feel the grief. Makes you alive. You're supposed to feel it. And know that on Wednesday, Christmas is over. And you can move on. I mean, it's that simple. That's my advice. Simple, isn't it? Practical, pragmatic, and damn good advice. Garrett, you seem like a leader to me. I would think that you are somebody.
People follow me.
I would think that you'd be the leader of your group.
Yes, I make the decisions.
Right. Well, that's good, though.
Yeah,
it's good to be a leader.
You want to be. Sometimes, though, you just kind of don't want to be. I feel like, you know, sometimes I just kind of want to regress a little bit. Not regress, it's not the right word, but just kind of fall back and
chill out,
kind of mix in, you know.
Right.
Not be so out in the open.
Yeah. You know, it's time sometimes.
It's a cross that I bear.
It's sometimes when you have to do that. You know, every day on the show we make you laugh, don't we? We make you laugh. We give you information. That's why we cover the news, talk about history. And yesterday you even got a literature lesson about Les Miserables and Victor Hugo. By the way, my dad's middle name is Hugo. Isn't that funny?
Really?
He's named after Hugo Black, the Supreme Court judge, my grandpa told me. But he is Hugo. That's why he goes by Charles H. I should have named a boy Hugo. I think they named that movie after my dad, Hugo. Are you done with your Christmas shopping, buddy? I got a great ending to our show.
I probably need to get a few more things, and then like I said, I got the Fleetwood tickets for my brother and sister-in-law yesterday.
Great.
How about that?
Great gift.
Thank you. So I don't think the tickets are going to be here in time for Christmas. So I'm going to make my personal Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits CD and give it to them, and then say, hey, tickets are on the way.
I can help you right there. Let me just tell you.
You know, I was going to ask you. I'm like, I need to ask the dog, because I know like 4 or 5 that are real good that I'm going to put on there, and then.
Well, I mean,
a few more.
Well, you might want to put these 4 or 5 on there, and I'm assuming that you did, but these are.
I haven't made it yet. So.
Okay, well, these are the best Fleetwood Mac songs of all time. Monday morning.
Hold on, let me get my. Yep. All right.
And then from the Rumors album, Secondhand News.
Okay.
Don't Stop, and Go Your Own Way. Monday morning, Secondhand News, Don't Stop, Go Your Own Way. All super upbeat. And then, you can throw in Tusk, you can throw
everything is
my fifth favorite song of them would be Silver Springs, where Stevie Nicks takes the lead.
Okay.
So those are Silver Springs, and those 4 are my 5 Fleetwood Macs that I have in my iPhone. So I love it.
Good.
I love it.
I added them. They're in my notes.
All right, folks. I want to tell you something. You can get advice that's original, and sometimes it's good just to use an old one. And some of that life that you learn is just from hard knocks. It's kind of a mix of everything. This is the greatest poem of all time. And not only is it the greatest poem of all time, I have a great story. I memorized this from my mama. She offered to give me $5 if I memorized this poem, and I did. I need to rememorize it. And then I took the $5 and went and bought Army Men from the East Drugstore. That's what I used my $5 for. It was gone as soon as it hit my hand. Gone. And this is good for everybody to hear because it will inspire you. If you're a member of Bulldog Nation, you're kind of a free spirit. You don't like all the rules. You're a fighter. You're a little unorthodox, maybe. And this song is just to remind you just to hang in there, no matter what your plight. No matter what your plight, whether it's a personal plight, a business plight, whatever the case might be. Remember, Abraham Lincoln was a failure before he became the secular saint of this country. Remember, Harry Truman was a bankrupt haberdasher. That's a hat seller. Before he became a U.S. Senator and President of the United States. And the stories go on and on and on. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Rudyard Kipling. Is that not freaking incredible?
One of my favorite poems.
Good golly. Man, that's life, man. I mean, how many people use the word sinew in a rhyme and use it well? God, I love that song. You know, I mean, that poem. I have that hanging right outside my law office door in Independence, and I read it at least once a week.
Really?
Now, by the way, some of those things I do well, some of them I don't do very well. But it doesn't mean that you don't read that and say, hey, man, keep on and keeping on. You know, and by the way, something that I know goes on a lot during this Christmas season, and trust me, folks, I've been there myself, so I know how it feels. You know, one of the things that just, you know, the stress in the Christmas season, God, the stress. Families wanting to give their kids what they really want. You know, people without a job going through foreclosure, but you're still going to have a Christmas. I mean, all the stress that comes with the holiday. I mean, and you know, there's two kinds of people. People that enjoy Christmas, and people are like, God dang, I hope I can get through Christmas. You know, and I always feel sorry for those people. I mean, you think about people that, you know, are worried about, you know, the credit card maxing out on them for that last gift and all those other kind of things, man. You know, it's a stressful season. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. Garrett, will you get through it?
I'll get through it.
All right. Now, you're going to be gone tomorrow, right?
I'm out.
Well, I'm going to miss you, buddy. I'm going to miss you, man.
I'm going to miss you guys.
But you'll be back Friday.
I'll be back here Friday.
Because that'll be our last show of the year, Friday.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
Second.
Yeah, Jake will do fine on that board. And Jake, don't worry about gathering. You didn't got time to get all those clips. Don't freaking worry about it.
Okay. Sounds good.
He says it sounds good.
It's all about that.
Jake says, oh, it's all right with me, man. All right, everybody listen. Hang in there. We'll get through Christmas. Hell, enjoy it anyway. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope tomorrow is yours. Go read the poem F when you're down on Class X Radio.